people. I forget what the guy's name is, but the guy who made Cyberpunk, he was a lot like George R. R. Martin in the sense that a lot of people wanted to make adaptations of his work.
Yeah.
Video game adaptations, book adaptations, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he basically said the technology isn't there yet. He basically pulled like a mixture between George Martin, James Cameron, and George Lucas, where it's like he had a thing he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he had a thing he wanted to do, and he said it just isn't there yet, and the development studios out there won't do my vision properly.
Gotcha.
Now, Cyberpunk, when it first came out, you know, the people who were over CD Projekt Red, people who did Witcher, Witcher games anyway, they basically forced them to release it before it was done, about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Now, actually, from what I've seen, is actually a damn good game. Like they spent the last year just giving out free patches.
Yeah.
And updating the game. But one thing that it was notorious for is that you could actually customize the size of your.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not like it was pixelated. It's like they actually showed it too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I would be mad, but I just gotta respect the balls.
Yep.
And I don't mean that's a pun. You gotta respect it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, games. I feel like now that is out in the ether, it has gotten a little bit more positive reception, especially with this new update coming out. Just want to give it more content, which I do plan on actually doing Cyberpunk, but I'm probably going to do it on the PC so we can do some mods with it.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I do know how to mod games a little bit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say when you said Anansi after dark, the first thing that came to mind was like a drinking moment where you play the games and you gotta get drunk.
Well, what it would be is that I would basically play games that are risque / meme games.
Gotcha.
Like these are games that like if you're a good Christian boy, you will not play these games. Those are kind of games.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm debating doing it, but I'm not certain if I really want to do it because again, with that kind of stuff, you're basically dipping into indie territory. And while I don't want to disrespect indie creators, I actually respect them very much in the gaming space because they actively do things that are different and they're actively trying to make something unique and interesting every single time, or just memeing for the hell of memeing it. A lot of the games are visual novels, and a lot of games are just straight up bad. So I would have to either A, hold myself to a high quality standard, or B, just take what I can get.
Yeah.
And I'm not certain if I want to do that just yet.
No, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
And then I also gotta find time to dedicate to my reviews because I'm hopefully maybe not this next paycheck, but the paycheck afterwards. Because this next paycheck, if everything goes well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the boom mic. If I can swing it, I'm gonna try to get two. But I'm gonna get the one just to start off with, and so I can kind of see how it plugs in, and then see if we need a mixer so we can kind of have the audio feeding into two spots at the same spot at the same time.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna be doing that, and then after that I'm gonna try to get my flash drive fixed so I can get all of my old content back. But I had a few reviews that I already started writing.
Okay.
And when I mean reviews, I mean like just like fully like scripted gags, some cutaways and stuff like that. I was doing the full 9 yards of this.
Yeah. I know what you mean. That's what I was doing too with my reviews too.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then I'm probably and then I gotta find time to do like animation and whatnot.
Yeah.
You don't. Because here's the thing, like I always wanted to do animation, like back in the day, like way back in the day. I actually was trying to go to school for art, believe it or not. Like after like drawings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was way back in the day. I was like, I started writing my very first story when I was 13. I was in high school. I know 13. I was 13 in junior year. Right. Because I graduated then. and I had graduated in 2012. So okay, so I was 18 when I graduated, and I started running my first tour when I was 17. My bad. I was always the youngest in my class, by the way. Like I was always the youngest in my grade, because again I was born on the 18th, and as a result, I was born just close enough to the deadline in North Carolina where I could enroll into school.
Wow.
For the year my parents wanted to enroll me into school.
Gotcha.
And so they did. So yeah, I was always the youngest in my class. It's actually so bad that one of the guys I work with now, he was actually one of my classmates back in high school, but he was a grade behind me, and he's a year older than me.
Wow.
So when I told him how old I was, and I told him that I graduated, he asked me when I graduated because I think he was trying to settle best like I graduated before him, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I graduated in 2012. He's like, how the did you graduate a year before me? And I'm like, what day were you born? He's like, I was born this day. It's like, okay, so you were born after the cutoff, so you had to basically wait for the next school year to enroll.
Wow, that's crazy. That's wild.
So yeah, it was a weird instance of me being younger but graduating ahead. Anyway.
That is 2 points.
I thought it was hilarious too.
That's 2 points.
Guys was up and down, he got held back, but I'm like, if you got held back 3 times, you should not have graduated in 2013.
Nah.
And to my understanding, when I asked him, I said, did you have any like advanced placement classes? Like, no. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think I held back, my dude. I think you just had attention. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But anyway, what was I going to get at again? Right. So I wanted to go in for art. I started writing my first story when I was 17, and it was a fan story, obviously. And part of me wanted to animate these stories at a later point in my life.
Yeah.
Of course, things changed, and I kind of shifted around my focus of what I wanted to focus on. Like I went from being the very first thing I wanted to do was the first black president. We all know how that worked out.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to have to be the second one. Which.
That's fine.
Hey, what am I doing? I can't do any worse than the last guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Then I want to be a lawyer. Decided to get to that one. And then I said, I wanted to do something in the entertainment world. I'll be an actor because being a writer, you don't really need a degree for it. You just need to know how to write properly.
Yeah.
And again, with all these new programs out there, because I've been debating downloading the program Grammarly. Because from what I hear, what it does is it basically cleans up your writing and it can integrate with your Gmail and your Word program. So I'm debating using it. Making a copy of my story, like copy paste, that kind of thing, and then like seeing how it would translate that entire story. There's a built-in editing program into Microsoft Word. Like I looked at my editing score, and it has it in 3 categories. There's business, professional, and casual.
Yeah. And
it gives you a grade point rating, a percentage rating anyway. Yeah. Casual, my accuracy is about 92%.
Wow.
Anywhere between 90 and 94. My professional, about 90, and then the other one's 89.
Okay, that ain't bad, bro.
Now I say this particular grain of salt because sometimes that program won't fully load. So sometimes it'll be sometimes I look at that same score, it's like, why did it jump up to 98?
Wow. And this is a script, correct?
This is the book.
Okay.
The scripts I got to go back through and rewrite because I have a script finished.
Yeah.
It's a stage play. It was. I probably have to expand on it, but I think that if someone did it, it'd be an hour long, so it wouldn't be a long stage play. Okay. At least I don't think. This is just me spitballing here. I always tend to underestimate how long my stuff goes for. Currently the book, the original intent was to have it be a 14 chapter long story.
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 8, about to hit 9.
That's good.
If I punch through tomorrow, I can definitely get to 10 and maybe 11 and hopefully try to finish up 14 by the end of the month. But I also realized that I basically neglected like my entire cast. So I'm gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna finish up these 14 chapters because these are like the main thrust of the action, main thrust of the story. We're like not a whole lot of character developments going on, at least for me personally. I have to balance it out. Where it's like I have chapters or segments of stories that are just dedicated to character development. Some are just dedicated to world building, and some is just dedicated to action. I basically decided I'm gonna have to go back through and basically add like 3 or 4 chapters, and then I ultimately decided, screw it, I'll go from 14 to 21, and it shouldn't be too hard, all things considered, because it's just 1 or 2 chapters per character, kind of focus in on them a little bit more, and then I was gonna go back through, reread it, and see about spreading out that stuff.
Okay.
Because my mindset is that if I sit here and like, you know how it is. The idea bubble thing, like the bubble chart, whatever the hell it was called back in the day. You know what I'm talking about. For rough drafts, second draft, no drafts. If I do that, I'm gonna be on like draft 27 by the time I'm 30, and not have a single freaking word written down. Yeah. So I said, okay, what are the major events of every single chapter? Now we're going to write into those, which is. Okay, I'm a stream of conscious writer. I could sit up here and plan out as much as I want to, but it's just better to start writing it for me. Then go through, then reread through it, and make my edits there and there, because I can see where my redundant statements are. I can see where needless action are. I can see where the continuity lines up. Because if you want to piss me off more than anything else, get your continuity wrong and see how mad you make me.
I can see that. I can see that for real. My God.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get all this done now.
Yeah.
So I can go through and just see about how I direct that continuity rage at myself.
I got you. Yeah. I can see that.
Because I went back through, I actually was doing this at work. It's like I had to try my best not to freak out, because I'd be in a corner kind of like waiting for the day to start, just kind of on my phone, working on my book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just do this right here. And I'm like, right now I'm like halfway through like the last 7 pages of chapter 8, about to break into 9. And I'm like, wouldn't this make more sense at this point in the story? Just finish it out!
I was like, let's finish it out.
And then we can just cut and paste it later.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how I was, because I was always dictating like what would sound right in this moment, or what I need to correct. And like you said, I'll just write it out. Go ahead, just write it out.
Just write it out and go back and finish it later. That's what a second draft is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of curiosity, I don't think I ever picked your brain on this, but when you are crafting your stories, because I consider myself predominantly a writer. You basically kind of do like, outside of acting, damn near everything on when it comes to production. What do you think what would you say your narrative focus is? Because mine has always been like, it is because the huge influence that was on me from Star Wars growing up. But my influence has always been continuity and world building. And once you kind of get that done, I feel like the characters will, once you understand the mechanics of your world, you can then get a better idea how your characters will react in that world.
Correct.
So do you craft your world around your characters, or your characters around the world?
It will depend, but mostly be on the characters around the world. So
you would say that. So you say that making sure that the believability of your world is paramount when it comes paramount, and then the characterization is second.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? Pick your brain here a little bit more. Yeah. Let's get ready to get started here in a second. So I'll be picking your brain while we're going here.
Yeah.
What made you come to that realization? And do you think that is the best way to go forward for any new writer?
No. I as far as as far as that direction, no. I would say like whatever route works best for them. I know it may sound cliche, but it's the truth because again, everybody has a different method on how to create a certain script. So, but mostly how I do it is I have to find a certain equation. So what I mean is different movies have different equations.
Yeah.
So like this is what me and my friend do right now. We're creating different equations for different genres. And what we do is we figure out how many pages will be for like 2 hour movie, for an hour movie, and then we go from there and differentiate as far as determine. Okay, so it's almost like a heart monitor. So like you know how it goes up, up down, up down. So when it's going towards up, that means that's if it's action, you're keeping your audience engaged. Okay. But if it's going down, it's going to be at the neutral level where like it's going to be just dialogue.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to do is for each script that we do, that equation will work for those different genres, and then our screenwriting process will be much more efficient and faster. And then I kind of leveled up on certain scripts because there was a script I was writing. It was a psychological thriller, but the way I was writing this wasn't based off the character. Mm-hmm. I was at the time I didn't see it until my friend looked at it. I was writing it based on how I would talk. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Whatever character you're creating and designing and bringing to life, look at how the dialogue will be represented based off that character, not you.
Okay.
Because I was putting myself in that situation. Like I was saying like, okay, how would I say this in this situation?
And
but
to be fair, that is generally a first time writer.
Yeah,
I did that. Yeah. I would say I did that a lot. Anyway, what you're saying?
Yeah, and me and my friend always on with each other. I told him, hey, look, he said, like, bro, this script is weak. You can do better. No, like, he said that. So then I kind of like changed my direction towards a horror script in a way.
Yeah.
So basically I have the thesis right now.
So would you say you found your voice in that, your creative voice in those discussions?
Yes, yeah, always, yeah, absolutely. So then when I did just the thesis part of the horror script, my friend literally went from saying from the other script it was weak and everything to this other part. Just he was going further and further out of his chair because he was so engaged into it. He's like, bruh, I want to see more of this. Like, how did you go from this script to this script, and the way that you wrote it, he said, like, now you're writing like a true screenwriter, because that is something I would hear like a regular person write on a professional level of screenwriting. I said, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just follow his methods and everything. I was watching a couple of videos and everything and studying that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting hearing you talk about it. Because again, I've always said I kind of figured that you were always more of a I wouldn't even say horror writer, just a thriller writer. Like I could see you. I could legitimately see you doing like a decent mystery novel. You know what I mean? In terms of like thriller in the. I'd say in the purest form of thriller.
Yeah.
Since we get to see what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong way.
Jesus.
I always get that reading just wrong. But yeah. And for me personally, right? It's like, and I do see where you're coming from, and it is interesting to kind of get your pick on that because I always used to think that the best thing to do as a new writer is to just go as far as you can, like. If you're going to write a script, if you're going to write a story, whatever it is, when you're creating a world, when you're creating your characters, don't focus on getting it just right.
Yeah.
Focus on getting it all out. Go ham from the get-go, and then work on it from there.
Yeah, and honestly though, that's not a bad method either. But I think for me, it was just different because I've been studying script writing for years now, and I understand like the different ways of writing script writing. So it's just like just on the general idea that you're trying to come up with. Like so, like let's say if I wanted to, let's say I came to the studio, the film studio, and I sat down with my brother and said, you know what, let's write a script about a sequel to Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
And then we will have to, and then I will create the equation, and then we're like, okay, so we need to figure out who our characters are, what the world aspect is going to look like, and then as far as the story, we need to figure out, do we want to keep the audience engaged the whole entire time, or do we want to sometimes have like little slow moments and with dialogue, or have little actions moment, little fight scenes between these little slow moments, or anything like that to keep the audience engaged. But we have to figure out a way to keep our audience engaged throughout this whole entire process. So, any ideas?
Okay, so let me ask you another question then.
Yes.
Let's use this to become like a kind of like a general like basically kind of become like a big hot button issue.
Yeah.
In recent years. When you writing a story,
Yes.
do you go in with the intention of okay, I got killed there, I have to go back to. Do you go in it with the intention of having a message first, or do you write the story first and then see where you can lay your message in?
I most likely try to see how my story's gonna play out first, and then after that, if I want to incorporate a certain message, then I go back into it.
Because for me personally, right, like when I write my stories nowadays, I usually just kind of write them for fun. I never really went in with the expectation of having a story, of having a message.
Yeah.
But I do know that most stories that last a long time generally have a greater message going in, but the message isn't spoken, if that makes any sense. Like, it's very rare that the message is like outright stated. If anything, it's a commentary on the nature of the message. Like, for instance, with the original Matrix trilogy, right?
Yeah.
The Oracle, almost every single time the gang goes to talk to her, she never gives you like the straight up like answer. It's always, I expect you to make up your own mind about what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You can either take it on faith, or you can
just go back to your ordinary world.
Yeah, or you can just believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what I know. Damn, camera, help me out here. Okay, good. What's the deal on that one? And as a result, the movie as a metaphor on faith and self-actualization is a very interesting story, because you have to think about it. Like, Morpheus in the original trilogy goes through an arc where he goes from being like a firm believer in prophecy and religion and stuff like that to basically just believing in his best friend.
Yeah.
Like, he went from being like the staunch like religious zealot to being the guy, to being like a critic, because basically he's learned that everything he's believed in has basically been a lie. Like the Oracle he finds out is a program.
Yeah.
Like, the very thing he's been fighting his entire life is like the one thing he's believed in, like more than anything else, has been a program, a nervous system of control, basically.
Yeah.
But this one gave him the choice. So it basically threw his entire belief structure like out the window.
Yeah.
So I don't write with the intent. So like, I have an idea of what I want to write about, if that makes any sense.
I got you. Yeah,
but I don't write the messages in there because I feel like I do now, but I only do in the sense of like trying to refine it for later.
Yeah.
Because again, for me personally, because I'm not good at I'm good at planning stuff, but when it comes to the execution, what's the word? I'm like a dog chasing cars.
Okay,
I wouldn't know what to do when I caught one.
Yeah. No,
I just know that I want it. That I want to chase a car.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you after the stream about just the intro based on what I got so far for one horror film.
Yeah.
And show you how I do my write scripts.
Yeah.
But it's just like I tell everybody, like, you have to make sure, like, also when you write scripts, like, let's say if it's drama suspense, you have to make sure, like, if you're trying to keep the audience engaged, or you're trying to throw off the audience a little bit, like, with certain things, you have to make sure, depending on the script and everything, those questions are answered.
Yes.
So, because if you don't, the audience will notice that, and they will say, hold on, wait a minute, this happened at the beginning of the movie. Why was this not answered in somewhere in the movie?
That's Chekhov's gun we're talking about, right?
Yeah, correct, yeah. And then this is how detailed me and my friend have got with as far as script writing. You notice too, always with action, it's always a bad guy intro. So what I mean is, if you notice sometimes with action films, they always introduce the backstory of the bad guy, or they give you bits and pieces of the backstory or origin story, and then they lead into the protagonist in the present time usually. So look at. Are you
talking about modern writing? Because to be honest with you, like the stories that come to mind for me, you rarely, like, you don't get backstory on the bad guy to like the sequel.
Well, I'll put it this way: Shang-Chi, in the beginning, the thesis part is the narrator. So like the heartbeat, when the heart beats down in the beginning of Shang-Chi, because it's just dialogue happening. But still, but see, it's unique with this one because they're incorporating narration along with a little bit of action in there. You can tell. So they are explaining a little bit the backstory of who this character is, which is the bad guy, and then what he was doing during those years as the Mandarin, whatever they call him in the movie, and then after they briefly explain who he is and how he became who he is, they cut to the protagonist, who is Sean in the movie, and then that's the present time. Then that's when your first act begins, and then towards the second act, that's what most of the second act deals with, like the protagonist trying to deal with like certain like obstacles. And in the second act, in the movie, it does exactly that. Because
again, I would call that an example of modern writing more than anything else. Now, I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But that's what I meant by that. Like, do you mean like modern or postmodern writing? Because pre-modern writing, you would there wouldn't be like a backstory for the bad guy. That would be the thing they save for the sequel. The first movie is generally building up how much of a threat the bad guy is. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but in film wise, that's how the layout is. It's almost like what they do it for script writing is thesis, then your intro, then your.
Okay. Now I think I see what you're saying. Well, okay. My bad. My bad.
My fault.
I think where I got confused was the actual filming of the thing.
Oh no,
what you're talking about is the actual crafting of the story. Okay. Now I'm
okay. So you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't explain that part. Okay. So what I was talking about for script writing. Yeah. There's usually in every action, most of it in the thesis part, it gives you. It's a bad guy intro. It gives you either a look into who he is, and that's usually like the slow moment of the narrator. Somebody only doing narration, explaining to you who this person is and how he came to be this certain person that everybody knows in the movies. And then it cuts to on the script into the first act, our protagonist, which is Sean. And Shang-Chi, and basically that'll be your first act, and then the second act on the script will introduce the certain obstacles the protagonist has to overcome
Yeah.
in order to reach his main goal and conclusion.
Which is usually called the hero's journey.
Correct.
That is an actual like writing trope. I'm not good at writing a hero's journey. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one.
Yeah.
I tend to skip it.
Yeah.
I say skip it. I tend to not. I don't tend to follow structural writing. I know the rules. I understand them.
Yeah.
I just don't like working with rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. Because when we finish our equation and we get all our scripts and everything, I'll show you some, because the way we're doing it, I'm not even kidding. It is so efficient and way faster. We can knock about 15 scripts a day.
And I'm not saying that in a sense like, ooh, I know better than the structures.
Oh, no.
What I'm saying is the structures are there for a reason. You you shouldn't ignore them unless you fully ignore them. You shouldn't ignore them or bend the rules of them unless you 100% understand why the mechanics are there.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yes, correct. And that's why I tell people to, like, look, if you want to break the rules, you can do that, but the story still has to flow and make sense in each act that you do.
Yeah.
If each act has something that's confusing to the audience, I'm telling you, it's going to be obvious to them. They won't understand what's going on. And that's why I felt like with Shang-Chi, it was very unique, because I know when I rewatched it and we were doing our equation and everything, it made sense. It made sense when I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, here's our first act, second act, and third act. But especially the second act, he was overcoming certain obstacles. And then towards the third act, that's when he was reaching a certain conclusion where he had overcome his obstacle in order to reach his conclusion, which I was like, oh wow, this is very genius.
Now, would you say that conflict is 100% necessary to a story? I know it sounds like a dumb question to ask.
No, actually, no, it's not. No, in some cases it is, but it could be different. Like, it could be like this. So you let's say somebody does something every single day, and they're just living their life. Oh no, actually, no, I'm sorry, no. Let me back this up. So remember the movie Escape Room, right? Yeah. So
how can I forget? That one was a very interesting movie to watch. Like, I'm also kind of sad I didn't see it when it first came out.
Yeah, and so if you recall the first one, all these people were doing their daily things, every single thing.
Yeah.
Nothing disrupted their life until something particular did.
Yeah.
The box.
Yeah.
Before that happened, everybody we saw what they were doing every single day of their lives. You had a Wall Street broker. You had a girl that was very smart, and intelligent, going to school every single day, not taking risks, not doing anything. And you had a smoker guy working at a fish department and everything, just doing a 9 to 7 job. And you had this other girl, right?
Yeah.
And when that box came in, that was sort of like the disruption.
That was the call to action.
Yeah, the call to action. Yeah, the disruption that altered their daily lives.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, everything it's almost like a ripple effect. It changed the outcome of what they were going to do with the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Because of that box entering their lives.
Now the reason why I asked is that I took a couple of writing classes, specifically script writing classes.
Yes.
I never actually wrote any like my higher concept scripts. I wrote it once, and I could tell that everybody in the writing class did not get what I was going for.
Yeah.
I think the teacher did, and I got typecast to write family dramas.
Okay.
Because I always had like a parental figure and a child figure in a lot of my stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Or at the very least, like I would usually like try to write things that are like made people think about.
Yeah.
Perspective. Like I had one, and I might bring this story back, but there's one story that I did. And yeah, I just did it on a whim. I just did it on a whim. And the idea was there is this daughter and father duo, and the father is trying to keep his daughter on the straight and narrow. He wants her to be smart. He wants her to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
The things that you would kind of like expect a parent to do.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I said, well, I could always have him just straight up give her the answer, but I always kept the adage of teach a man to fish in my head when I was writing it.
Yeah.
So I said, what if I had it be where this girl is a massive bookworm?
Yeah.
And she has this like favorite author that she likes to follow.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know that the author is her dad.
Wow. Oh, that'd be interesting. No, honestly, I can probably recall the most movies I've seen, including drama sometimes, and I've never seen a movie like that. So that would be very interesting. Now, the only thing I would say is, like, if you do continue to do that, you have to find a way to not to make it obvious to our audience either.
Oh no, yeah, no, I know. I already had it written out because I technically wrote I wrote the third act of it.
Oh, okay, yeah. And see with that too, that's how I sort of am sometimes too. Sometimes I may write the thesis, sometimes I may write the first act or second act, but the fact that you have the third act, that's a good start. So all you have to do from there is just like
I think I still have the scripts.
Yeah.
I think that one wasn't on my flash drive. I think that one is just literally on my hard drive.
Yeah.
What, you don't calm it down?
Yeah, cause I have what's it called? I have final drafts, so I just type on all my scripts up there.
Yeah, I got OneDrive, so all my stuff is. Dang, this one is. Please die. Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, I think I still have it, so I could always go back and rewrite it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I would change a few things around.
Yeah.
I had some ideas. Is this what I think we are? Maybe. I had a couple ideas of like how I would go about like layering in the movie.
Yeah,
because the idea would be that this would obviously be a.
Knowledge must be contained within. I suspect there is much he could have taught me.
Okay. I might have to turn on the subtitles for this.
No, you good.
Anyway, I can always go back and rewatch it later. You can always turn up the volume.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, the idea. But yeah, I had ideas because again, this would be the. I had because again, I have one and done ideas.
Yeah.
Because not everything I write have to be a series. Not everything that comes out has to be a series.
Yeah.
Sometimes just having a one and done is fine. So what I decided to do was that since it would be a one and done movie, I would basically have it be where there's a mystery going on. I said mystery going on where there are hints as to who the guy is, but it's only for people who really pay attention.
Gotcha.
So, because if you're watching the movie and you don't pay attention to it, it's like you're just not paying attention. You just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Nah, I got you. Yeah.
But if you're one of the people who do pay attention to like everything in the movie, you'll probably notice like the twist coming if you just read.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna say what it is. I don't want to give away if I do it and write the script. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Because then someone's gonna find this live stream and go, well, now I know what to look for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. Nah, I got you. Nah, I can put this in there. I can put this in. Yeah. But I think because me and him have become 3 years of doing this, like everything, like. Well, I mean, like 3 years, like we've been studying like everything, not just script writing, producing, AD, the business aspect, like every single piece of area, like in filming, like whatever you could think of. We've been studying all that for 3 years, plus this additional. This will be the 4th year, and right now I'm almost done with the production side of doing this car commercial I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to turn it into a story-wise, and eventually film that. So, and everything, because I've already got the shots and I already got the shots I want to do. Most of them will be drone shots, and I have a couple of drone experts I know. I'm gonna call up and everything when I get everything done. Call them up.
I've debated getting a drone.
Huh?
I debate getting a drone.
Yeah, I would say I would say honestly, for me wise, for film wise, it comes in handy because you can get so many opportunities doing that.
Yeah.
It's
Just that you got to register your drone with like
Well, I mean,
the Air Authority?
well, yeah. Well, not only that, you got also pay I think a certain uh, amount, like I think either $120 to take a test because because in Charlotte you have to have a license. You have to have a license. If you don't, they will fine you. And because and the other thing I wanted to say was my understanding of script writing has gotten so much better. I've literally had to rewatching some movies to see if they hold up as far as the script writing, as far as the scripts they were created.
Okay.
And there have been some movies like with Laura Croft.
Let me see if I can hear this.
Yeah.
The prince usually gives like hints that's what you gotta do when these kind of panning shots come up.
Kindly listen, my Mary. Well, knowledge must be contained within. I suspect there is much she could have taught me.
Okay, so we're in kind of the library.
It's gone another way.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, as you're saying?
You should never have come to our island.
I was saying, like even with Laura Croft and
The Angelina Jolie one or the
the first one I want to say was the Angelina Jolie one.
Yeah.
That one I enjoyed, but I haven't watched it recently, so I may go watch that tomorrow and watch it from a filmmaker's perspective and see if the equation for I guess for adventure still applies for that script, but if it doesn't, if I feel like some areas in that film could have been worked on, I will write it down. Actually, okay, you know what? This area could have been worked on, or could have been better in this certain area. And but last time years ago, if I recall the movie, in my mind, it actually still did hold up. Now, I would say with the reboot one, as far as I felt like that was good in its own version because it applied to the recent Tomb Raider game. Now, the old was the recent one.
Yeah.
And I felt like I felt when it did that, I felt like it did pay homage to that video game, and it actually did an incredible job building the actual like props and everything, and like something like the crane and everything, and then I forgot her name, Yvonne something, the actress, I can't remember, but she did an incredible job playing Laura. Now, could her acting been better? Yes, but at the same time, I still understand that was really an origin story leading up to like to the Laura that we know and love and everything and adore. But I already knew, hands down, that wasn't going to be a sequel, even though I wanted it to, because it was really good. But I already knew it wasn't going to be a sequel because of the audience and because they got so used to watching Angelina Jolie's version as Laura Croft.
Which from my understanding is not like actual Tomb Raider. Like the Tomb Raider that Angie was trying to play. It was very clear that Angelina Jolie just trying to get an adrenaline shot. Because the actual Laura Croft was nothing like that.
Oh, for real? I thought it was.
The classic Laura Croft, yeah, she did have an obstacle course in her foyer, sure, but that wasn't really her. If that makes any sense. She was more. She was. We're talking about a character where she goes into a tomb and starts shooting at a T-Rex. That was the first game. Her first game, she was in a tomb underground fighting a T-Rex. Okay.
So, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
See, I never played the original Tomb Raider. I think they actually did a remake of it, like back in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I think it was like Tomb Raider Anniversary, which I debated getting. that.
But I still feel like that one is still number one for me, going Angelina Jolie. But that second one, I felt that was more of a cash grab to me.
Yeah, they made two of those, didn't they?
Yeah, and the second one did not feel like the perfect because at least with that one, I felt like she was truly Lara Croft in my eyes. I'm saying for me, in my eyes, and for the fact that like she was actually doing what I saw in the games, where she was like looking for like certain clues and everything to like to lead to this certain object. And even in the script writing version, in my opinion, I felt like like, I think towards the second act she did accomplish. No. She did come across certain barriers and obstacles she needed to overcome in order to get to her final conclusion. But I felt like they answered every single question as far as in the script writing method for the first act, second act, and third act, the conclusion, and everything. So I feel like they did a very good job with that. I mean, you watch it just to get a second opinion and everything. But from what I think it's still did a good job.
I remember being a very cheesy movie.
Yeah.
Nothing is cheese. Sometimes people like a little bit of provolone, but still.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's just different because like I'm so invested in filming right now, and my eyes are trained to look at it differently.
Because for me, my whole thing is, I've been writing since I was 17. So yeah. I've been writing technically before that. I used to craft stories even when I was younger. I remember my original character, Do Not Steal, was originally a character in Star Wars.
Okay, gotcha.
And this harkens back to my earlier when I said go ham when you're crafting a character. Like go ahead and just go as far as you can, and then take a break from that character and come back and come back and read it and ask yourself, is this character a good character? What do I mean by a good character? Can the character be beaten? Is it believable in the context of the story? Are they someone that can realistically exist? Or are you exhausted every time they're on screen?
Yeah.
Let's just say the character I made was exhausting in the most obnoxious degree. And I have no shame in saying that because, again, first time writing, you gotta make those mistakes.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I think I see what's happening here. But yeah, the thing is that you gotta make those mistakes because again, what you might be doing is not making a bad character. You might be making several great characters, but they're mashed together in one confusing lump that basically makes it impossible to get invested into one character.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with me. Like, if those characters do not make any sense, and all of them, like you said, are meshed together, and you don't have a way to untangle them, and like put them in the story to where like they all can coexist, but still make sense in the story, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because I made a character who was basically like, it was just form on top of form on top of form.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I have to go back and reread it because I think I still have the original character, the original stuff. Because I remember all the names I had for this character too until I eventually settled on a name that someone could believably have.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to kind of go back through and revisit the character and kind of go through the writing process of it because I still remember because I didn't write it down. I just remembered all the things I did with this character, and then I came back and I just asked myself, okay, why is this character like this?
Yeah.
Can I split this up into multiple characters? And can I streamline this? And I basically found out that what I had done with one character is that I had actually made 15 characters go into one.
Jesus Christ.
And then I just kind of broke it down like this. Like, okay, so what is this character good at? What's this character bad at? What is this character good at? What's this character bad at? What is their hobby? What do they like to do? And then just kind of went from there. Because sometimes you just have to make a bad character at least once to kind of understand how difficult it is to write a good one.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Because I think a lot of people get wrapped up in the character concept, more than they do in actually like making the character, you know.
Yeah.
And that's fine, you know. First time writing jitters. That's what happens. It is expected. It is expected. Like do not expect to make something brilliant your first time going out.
Yeah.
you very rarely have a great character on your first go through, or a great story on your first go through. You have to make that mistake at some point.
No, you're right. You're right.
For Babylon!
And it's just like I said, I'm starting to enjoy script writing a whole lot more now, and I'm just like, okay, wow, this is very interesting.
Attack him! Do not
And
let him escape!
I don't know. I think some of the I honestly, and true, like I said, ever since I've been watching anime these past couple weeks, I feel like as far as like with script writing wise, I feel like personally, in my opinion, I think they're doing a better job than most American films.
Do you want to know why that is? That I think is a very specific reason as to why Japanese scripts are, and I won't say it better all the time, but are more engaging than Western scripts. You want to know why?
Well, I feel like it is because the ones I've seen, they are relatable, and they found a way to keep it grounded but still relatable to like actual like real life shit that goes on as far as like how people talk during certain moments. Like if an actor gets, if a character gets mad, they talk this certain way, or
Okay.
What was that?
I think I activated a rage mode and I forgot I had it.
Oh, I need you to get it again. What?
I do too, but I don't remember how I did it. I have an idea of how I did it, but I don't remember how I did it.
Whoa, that just threw me off.
Yeah, it's basically like it's like hyperspeed mode, I guess.
Yeah, it's like somebody experiencing like drugs for the first time and say, "Yay!"
But yeah, the reason why that's the case with Asian films, and I get that I'm about to have a lot of people. I won't say a lot of people, but there's going to become an increasingly, I would say, unnerving amount of hate coming towards Japanese anime, and that's only because it's gotten popular.
Yeah.
But here's what I want to say about this: the reason why anime scripts, and actually I'm going to extend this out to Eastern scripts in general, is because they take a more philosophical approach with their script writing, whereas in Western media we take a more sensational script writing. Because in Western media we have based our scripts and stuff off of the Roman tradition, which has always been about sensationalization, extreme blood and gore, that kind of stuff. We have basically based it off of titillation, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Like Roman scripts are almost always based off of Greek plays, and Greek plays focus more on tragedies. You very rarely find a Greek comedy, and it might just be because we haven't found a lot of them yet. Granted, a lot of Greek comedies are, a lot of Greek plays are just gone. They're destroyed. We don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
I think they found the majority of them at the bottom of an ocean.
Wow.
Then some of them are just outright destroyed, not kept records of. And another thing is that they make the same play like over and over again. They would just make the plays dedicated to their gods and whatnot. Again, no problem. It's no problem with that. That is their that's basically like what they know. You write what you know. That's another writing flaw. That's another writing tip. Write what you know.
Yeah.
But when the Romans got their hands on them, they were interested more in the comedies. They liked the action. Like they went over the top on the blood. Like in a Greek tragedy, you would have like one scene. They would mention there's a battle going on, and then they have like this kind of like stage kind of stabbing kind of thing. So it looked like someone got stabbed, but it wouldn't be a whole lot of like effects and whatnot. Romans, blood everywhere, bodies on the ground, actual lines and crap. It was a whole thing, and again, because Western philosophy is heavily inspired by Roman tradition, that's where a lot of it comes from. And when I say Western philosophy, I mean specifically European philosophy. African philosophy, I honestly couldn't tell you because we don't have we're rediscovering a lot of those records, and from what I've seen, African mythology takes a more, at least from what I've seen, takes a more mythological approach. So, not even just that, it's like, so again, Greek tragedies, it always is the hero dying to learn their lesson, But in African mythology, from what I've seen, the hero learns the lesson and then goes on to pass that lesson on to more people. He goes on to say,
Right.
because the hero learned this lesson, they became a better king or a better god or a better person for it. Whereas in Greek tragedies, it's like, okay, the guy just dies.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. No, I
Um,
can see that.
So because of that, again, Roman and by extension European mythology, they basically take that to its extent where it's like the hero has to die to learn the lesson. In terms of Eastern philosophy, it is more or less philosophical in nature because I think it's more based in Shinto and Buddhist and Taoist tradition.
Yeah.
And again, I'm still learning more about Eastern script writing philosophy, but if you just kind of pay attention, you'll notice that they do this thing with their theming where you don't realize you're being taught a theme and taught a message until like the character is going through their moment of crisis. You know, there's more of a social commentary because again, Eastern philosophy is the Eastern world is more based on collectivism. That just is how it is. It's like it's very like it's a sense of like this national community kind of thing.
Yeah.
So everything they kind of do ties back into that.
Yeah.
Again, nothing wrong with that. That's again, you write what you know, and that's what you know that you write that.
Yeah.
Now, in recent years, as you know, cultures mix and blend and stuff, we have essentially gotten Eastern creators incorporating some Western values into their writing, and now Western creators have incorporated some Eastern values into writing. You notice a lot of animated shows in the West, Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, have a more anime-esque style to them.
Yeah.
I don't think they got the writing down right just yet, but it is a thing that's happening.
Yeah. I just feel like I said, like the animations I've been watching so far, they have kept me captivated and pulled me in.
More than what's going on here.
Yeah, more than what's going on because like of how well done the story, of how well done the script is, and even with Demon Slayer, there have been moments I'm like, wow, I feel the intensity and the moments and the emotional aspects of it. I'm like, wow, I'm really so involved in this. I want to keep watching to see what's going on. Whereas some movies now, they're just, let's just say horror film right now. All I've seen that with the generic Hollywood thing is they've been trying to put in as much jump scares as possible just to scare the audience.
Yes.
But my thing is
because that's a thrill. It gets the heart racing instantly, but it's not well thought out.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. You can do different ways of using fear. Like look at Get Out. It used different elements of fear to incorporate in that movie Get Out, where we see Chris like feeling uncomfortable with a bunch of white folks. And we see him in that chair in that little like dungeon type feel where he I guess almost about to die and whatever, blah blah blah, and you start to feel like a set of fear, like your pulse racing, cause like you want him, you want this protagonist, you want this black guy to win.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I felt when I watched Get Out. And it's like I said, fear can be used in many different situations. It definitely can. And yeah, and I think some movies I've seen haven't been that effective with that direction.
It makes me wonder how the Five Nights at Freddy's movie's gonna go, because that entire game is just based upon jump scares.
Yeah, and it was see, yeah, and that's different because again, like I said, I played the game too, and that.
You actually played Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Which one did you play, by the way?
I think it was number 3. I think it was number 3.
Yeah. So you were in like this dingy kind of green-looking thing,
yeah,
and there's like this bunny thing coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right.
Yes, and my thing with that is I understand why that was doing it the way it was, because again, you were like the graveyard shift security guard, keep an eye on everything, and then like you had to make sure every function like electrical box was working, and then the moment where like the lights were flickering, and it was effective in the game.
Do you know the rabbit hole, pun intended,
Yeah.
of the story of Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I do not know.
It is so the guy you're actually so what's actually going on is that you are actually facing down the main killer of the franchise.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's an entire like child murder thing going on in Five Nights at Freddy's. You ever get a chance, just look it up on YouTube. There's a whole thing on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
You'll probably find like the most popular one being Matt Pat's game theories on him, because he has like an entire freaking playlist dedicated to it.
Yeah.
But there's like, if you just type in Five Nights at Freddy's lore, there's like a whole thing on it. Because again, and it's hard to believe because you played 3, right? Did you play it when it came out?
No.
Okay, so fun fact.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was actually going to be the creator's last game. He actually had been trying to break into the gaming industry for years at that point, and nothing worked. The last game he did before that was called Chipper and Sons Delivery, I think it was. And he said, okay, well, and everybody said, like, well, I mean, the games are alright, but like the main characters look like creepy ass animatronics. And he said, well, since that's what you think it looks like, I'm just going to lean into that, and if this doesn't work, I'm just out the gaming industry, period. And it was like a runaway success overnight, and he made the second game in like 2 months.
Wow, that's.
And then the third game in another 2 months. Then the fourth game in another 2 months.
Wow, are you serious?
Yes, he released that one early.
Wow, that's crazy. But
again, like there's like a whole. Entirely, but there's like a whole backstory to that.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out too. But to go back on what you're saying, as far as like them making the movie, my only concern is this, and this is what I've seen when they're trying to like either do horror films and trying to create, I guess, like these new upcoming actors. When that happens, in my opinion, I've seen this a couple times. They always revert to this woke stuff and try to incorporate that in like these little horror films, and it never works because they're more focused on trying to like get the representation of the woke people and everything, and then like use that to elevate the movie itself, but that never works. I feel like if you're doing a horror film like Five Nights at Freddy's, you need to focus on.
Oh no, it's an indie film now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they actually had. I think, from my understanding, they completely changed production houses. I think now it's Blumhouse.
Okay, good.
I think it's Blumhouse now.
Oh,
and
they've been
or did. All I know is that it is one of those horror films that I think it's the studio that made Paranormal Activity. I want to say.
Okay.
Is that Blumhouse?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the last I heard. Unless they've updated it recently.
No. It hasn't changed last time I recall. But my thing with Blumhouse is they've had a lot of ups and downs, and some of the movies they put out have been trash. One personally, like Truth or Dare, that movie was trash. The only thing that was good in there was like the actual like I guess demonic like looking faces, like smiling faces. That was about it. But other than that, that movie was like really horrible because like there was no good character development. The characters in that movie, I had no emotional towards at all. I actually wanted them all to die. And the protagonist was like had a secret that was so stupid. I'm like, there's no reason for her to live.
I think I soft blocked myself.
Yeah, and it just wasn't good.
Oh, okay. Wait, I can't see this. Okay, that helps.
Yeah, and like, again, don't get me wrong, they have had moments where like they actually have pretty good movies, but like in the past like year or two, it's been like up and down, which is normal. But I expect like if you're calling yourself Blumhouse, like the horror like base like I guess and everything, you should make movies that are blowing people's minds right now. And it hasn't for me. It's just been up and down. And I don't know. Like if it is by Blumhouse and they do Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm telling you right now, you really need to make sure that script is tight. It's so tight. Right? What I mean is, that that the story makes sense, that the characters are well developed, that the protagonist is gonna work well in the story, and stop incorporating stuff that's not necessary to be put into the script. Like, just stop putting random stuff to put into the movie.
Well, again, I'm not certain how it's going to go because I don't know if the creator of the series is still involved in it because he recently stepped away from Five Nights at Freddy's due to let's just okay. So are you familiar with the kind of community that that Five Nights at Freddy's probably actually has?
No, I do not.
So the Five Nights at Freddy's community has been, for the most part, a very inclusive community.
Okay.
I haven't seen too much in the way of toxicity. And I see this as someone who's been part of a lot of fan communities. You know, Star Wars being one of them, Sonic being another one. I was a member of the Rooster Teeth fan community, and then they went crazy.
Diversions are costing me time. Best I hurry to the throne room and mask.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where am I at right now. Okay, I might. Again, this map doesn't tell me nothing. Because I was trying to figure out if I was going the right way or if I was missing a secret back there.
I gotcha.
Because it very clearly signals me to go this way. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm gonna go back this way. I want to see about that other way that it was signaling that I could have gone. See, if there's a secret there. And then come back here if that's not the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I say that is that again, he ended up leaving the franchise because he left basically for his political viewpoints.
Gotcha,
Because he was donating to conservatives, but specifically ones that were looking to outright make trans people illegal and make gay people illegal.
Okay.
Like, they were trying to legitimately legislate that out. He also donated to Donald Trump, which, again, I'm not going to say that is the way he is, because when you actually listen to him give interviews, he doesn't come off as the kind of guy who would support these kind of guys. So, and also, again, it leads more and more into the issues with American politics that we have a two-party system, and we need more than two because the two parties that exist don't accurately represent everybody.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't care what anybody says, but if you lean one way or the other, you have to admit that the system we have now in America does not accurately reflect the values of everybody who participates in it.
It's very flawed because when I'll put it this way, when Jordan Peele did Get Out, and when he came out and said, I'm making my cast all black, and he said I would never make a white person the main character. A lot of people got mad about that.
Well, that's considered well again, the people that got mad about that, and I remember people that got mad about it.
Yeah,
they were people who consider themselves free speech advocates, which is basically just code for I want to be able to say the most racist, bigoted stuff to somebody, and they can't get mad at me for saying it. Yes. And I'm like, so let me get straight. You live in a country that gives you free speech. You have free speech. What you're actually advocating for is freedom from the responsibility or from the consequences, from the social consequences of saying what you want to say.
Yes.
And that's just not how that works. If you're going to say something blatantly bigoted or blatantly ignorant, then you have to suffer those consequences. That's just how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, these people call him out for making a woke movie.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
but that is
his decision to make, and as long as the movie is good, because that again, how do I put this? So the problem with because I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when woke was actually a positive thing.
No, it was. I do remember that. Yes, yes.
It even had a whole freaking song about it.
Yes.
So the issue now is that a lot of people get hung up on like the superficial aspects of wokeness. Because what wokeness was about was, at least as far as I remember, was let's say you have a situation.
Mm.
Oh snap! Okay, so I gotta do this right here. And okay, Okay, I died. But let's say you have a situation where someone is dropping. Here's a woke example for you. Is someone out there in the world that says that? Okay, so we're two black guys on the couch here.
Yeah.
Says that black people need to bring themselves up, work themselves up, and actually, fix their situation.
Yeah.
A woke thing to say would be, we did. It was called Tulsa, Oklahoma, and white people took the first chance they could to bomb the hell out of it. Another instance would be back in that's the thing that was really happening. Like during the Great Depression in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was something called Black Wall Street. It was
I heard about that.
It was basically a that's what okay. So basically, I gotta hold the block button and just tap. I don't get any sands for that, but it does make my life infinitely easier. But yeah, but in Tulsa, Oklahoma, what happened was you basically had while all these other people were suffering, you had this community of black people able to weather the storm of Great Depression in basically a self-contained economy. They were doing well. They had their own thing going on, and then some white woman went into a library, got on an elevator with a black person. And all anybody said is that she ran out the elevator screaming that she was being assaulted by the guy, and they never had a trial. What happened was she ended up going back to the white neighborhood, said something about it, and they didn't have the trial. The white people just came over to Tulsa, demanded the black guy.
Wow.
When they said no, the white people burnt down that neighborhood and then made Ku Klux Klan greeting cards of the devastation of these black people losing their homes. There's still 300 black people who were not accounted for in that massacre.
Wow.
So that would be something that would be considered woke, because you would be pointing out to people who say that no, we literally had an instance where that happened, and what happened, we had that basically taken away from us. Another instance, that wasn't the first time it happened. It was back in the mid 1800s, I want to say. It was in New York. It was actually it was in New York. It was a little bit after the Revolution, I want to say, maybe after Civil War. I can't remember which. And then a bunch of drunken sailors went through a black neighborhood. Again, they're prosperous black neighborhood. They had successful businesses and whatnot. And these guys, nothing happened. Nothing happened to really warrant them to be upset. They just got drunk and tore that neighborhood down.
Wow.
And those black people were not given reparations for it at all. They tore it down. And those white people got away with it.
Yeah.
Another thing that would be pointing out that the American Revolution would not have happened without black people. Factually speaking, a lot of people want to be like, oh, the Revolutionary Army fought so hard. The Revolutionary Army was getting its asses handed to it. Okay, so I gotta tap it. Okay, but yeah, they were getting their asses handed to them, and it was thanks to black people acting pretending to be slaves for the British, because they thought they were going to get freedom. They thought they were going to be free from slavery. If it wasn't for them pretending to be slaves for the British to feed information back to the Revolutionary Army, America would still be a British colony. 100% would have been a British colony. They would have lost. But what happened after it was won? Guess what black people got?
Nothing.
Slavery. Ironically, they were actually more likely to be free from slavery under British rule than under American rule. But pointing that out would be considered woke. But because that term has been co-opted by a bunch of people now, and you have a bunch of people who get overly zealous about representation and being pointing out these injustices, you now have a hard time making these conversations and having these discussions and pointing out this stuff without getting called out for it. So when Jordan Peele made Get Out, which to my understanding did remarkably well, it's considered a very good film.
Yeah, it really did.
You have a bunch of people who feel they've been wronged by woke culture, call themselves free speech advocates because they want to be able to just kind of stick it to these people.
Yeah.
Outright, basically, their arguments basically revolve around, as far as I'm concerned, saying the most blatantly bigoted stuff to distract these people and enrage them, because the point is no longer to make the argument a valid argument, is to make someone so upset that when that when they what's the look for here? That when they lose their temper, the person they're arguing against takes that as them winning the argument. It doesn't matter if the guy is wrong at all. Like trying to claim that Martin Luther King would have been a Republican nowadays when he was very clearly a socialist. That's actually why they killed him.
Yeah.
But the point isn't that the point for them isn't trying to prove that he would be a conservative or whatnot, a modern conservative. The point is trying to piss off people so that way you seem right because you were able to keep emotions in check, despite the fact that your argument was literally made in bad faith and designed to deliberately enrage somebody because you don't have an actual argument to make.
Yeah.
But again, because things happen, like you heard the latest thing people are trying to claim is woke now.
What?
The fact that Xbox released an update that allows you to schedule your updates so that way you can have it happen when your local energy grid is on its like most like energy efficient area or whatnot, and it's a completely optional thing. And you know they're trying to be environmentally conscious. Now they're trying to say that that's woke, and I'm like, being environmentally conscious is not being woke. It's acknowledging objective reality. You know that we need to be more environmentally conscious. But again, this is one more or less getting at is that I don't even know how to go on this freaking tangent. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, you're good.
But that's what I mean. Where it's like I try my best not to use the term woke anymore because it went from meaning something positive to meaning something to being co-opted very effectively by these people to meaning something that basically has no meaning anymore. So I try to make it a personal point that if I point out anything that's wrong with something, I try my best to avoid using the term woke because what it is that the issue is not that these movies are woke or that these stories are woke or that these issues are woke. Is that they're poorly done.
Yes, I agree.
They're poorly written. Like if I use the term poorly written, then the people who are overly sensitive about this stuff get a better idea of where I'm coming from, and the people who are basically look at me to try to have just any reason to justify whatever they're trying to justify. They can't use that term with me because I again, that wouldn't be my issue. My issue would be the poor quality of the writing. Oh boy, but yeah, that's that. To circle that back around, that's what I mean, more or less.
No, I got you. Yeah, and it's just like
because it's just getting more and more ridiculous how the term is being just more increasingly diluted by both sides of the argument. Oh boy, and again, it is what it is. Like most reasons, like they use that term to justify hating anything. Like with the recent She-Hulk show. I've not watched it. I've seen clips of it. I'm not certain if I'm excited to see this or if I'm going to be very pissed off watching it. But it has been criticized as being an overly woke show. Velma, the recent Velma show, same thing. Marvel's Captain Marvel. That was considered a very woke movie.
Yeah, it was.
But at the same time, you know, it's like I don't want to use that argument because it's not. In my mind, it has stopped being a valid argument, or doesn't mean what people think it means. So I just try to keep it as close to the main issue as I can. That is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Sorry for the bit of a tangent there. I know we kind of went on long with that one. But
No. Honestly,
Okay, there we go. But I feel like it does bear repeating, or at least bear mentioning. When it comes to more than writing, because now the issue has become the poor quality of the writing. But because most often than not, the poor quality of the writing is the representations, is the stuff. That's what people are harping on. And it distracts from the main issue. It's not that this stuff's being done, it's that it's being done poorly.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately. I just feel like some of these actors.
You good?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. It's been a long day. But no, but that, yeah, but that, well, it's these past years, like you said, it's gotten worse, and I'm saying for me, it doesn't bother me. Like I said, I don't watch it, but like you said with She-Hulk and everything, I enjoy She-Hulk. I'm in the minority because again, I looked at it as not a show to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Because she clearly stated in the beginning what her intentions were throughout the show. So like it really wasn't action from a lot of people got upset with that. But I just found it to be a very funny, entertaining show.
Which was again a problem that people had with the first Thor movie, that there wasn't a lot of Thor action. But I'm like, that's like depending on what the movie is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that this is like something that has to be like a hard and fast, like you have to follow this rule like 100%.
Yeah.
But just because you have an expectation based on like a preconceived notion doesn't mean that it is sustainable.
Correct. I agree with that. Yes.
Like for instance, like again with the Thor movie, everybody expected like God of Thunder, Big Hammer, Me Smash.
That was not the case.
That was not the case for the Thor movie. But I'm in the minority. I think it was a very good movie for it. I think it was a better movie for it.
Wait a minute. Which one?
The first Thor movie.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
I'm in the minority. I think the first Thor movie was a better movie for not being what people were expecting when it comes to like Thor. Like they were expecting like him to be like this beating up like these big godly monsters.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it was the most important thing for that movie was getting Thor to be humble with his power.
Yeah,
that was the most important thing.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I'm saying for me. I like kind of how that direction they were going with that because again, like we see him as an arrogant son, like all he cares about is the attention, the glory, and everything else. But when you see him when you see him evolve as a human being, and see what he's willing to sacrifice and die for.
Yeah.
Like is really good. Again, like I said, I was definitely not sucker where people didn't like it, and it was something else. With actually, the other thing was how people like were messing with like the character Pennywise. People were like coming up to like, I guess actually. Hold on.
Wait. What do you mean like opinion wise? Like you mean like Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know how I get those two in the same story. Wow, I'm thrown off. Actually, give me a second, y'all. I literally just lost my train of thought. I don't know how I incorporated that movie and Thor in the same thing.
What movie?
No, I was talking about Thor, but then I don't know how I incorporated Pennywise with Thor.
Yeah, Pennywise is a completely different series.
Yeah. I don't know where I was.
Are you talking about the Batman?
No. It was
Pennywise. My bad. It. That was it.
Yeah.
How did you get it with Thor,
man? I don't know. I think I was trying to incorporate something with the. It was something that was going on. I can't remember what I was saying here. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, just in general, like I guess it wasn't my favorite Thor movie, but I enjoyed it better than Dark World, and I've never seen Dark World. I just was not a fan of that.
Wait, you never seen Dark World?
Nah, I couldn't. There's no way you could sit me down and watch that movie. I would have. This is not a joke, guys. I would have to be drunk to watch that.
For Thor: The Dark World.
Yes.
Now, again, I've not seen Thor: Dark World, but I know people don't like it, but it can't be that bad.
I'll say this: it's probably not worse than Thor: Love and Thunder, but it is up there to where like I would not be watching this movie.
Now that's interesting because the same guy who did Ragnarok, the probably the more popular of the two, did Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I know, but now here's my issue with that. I think what it was, it not ego. I think it was just he got cocky and he thought, you know what, since Thor Ragnarok was a hit, you know what, I can put that same method into this. No, where I felt that Taika Waititi should have done is made Thor: Love and Thunder instead of focusing on Thor trying to find his purpose, which is stupid in that movie.
Why not just make him king?
I don't know.
Because that was like something that they were doing in the comics, that they made him king, and that's why he started to pass on Mjolnir. He became Thor Odin's son.
Oh no, not in this case.
No, my bad. All Father Thor, which is actually a very interesting comic thing.
Okay. And what ended up happening was like he turned it into a comedic movie more than a darker, serious tone. Because the only why I said it was supposed to be that because of Christian Bale's character. I think it was like Gore or
Christian Bale's in the movie?
Yes. Yeah. He plays his I think Gord. I think that's his name. I can't remember his name. It does begin with a G. I think it's Gord.
Is this a character that's been introduced in the MCU beforehand? Or
No. I mean, like as far as the movies that have been out from Marvel wise, no.
Okay.
But I think somebody said a while back it was in the comics. I just don't know for sure. But hold on, let me find.
Oh, I'm sure he's in the comics. I'm more or less asking is he in was he already in the MCU movies proper?
Oh no, absolutely not, no. Yeah, he played as Gord, Gord the God. And I just felt like the way that he looked, it should have been more serious than funny. Like, when I tell you there was no story in this movie, if you would have read the script, it wouldn't make any sense. I felt like I was watching 4 different stories in one movie. I felt like it was taking me from left, right, up, side, a right obtuse, a left obtuse. It was taking me in different directions.
So a case of doing too much different and not enough different at all.
Yes, correct.
My bad. Picking a tone, sticking with it.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Yeah, and I think I either walked out that movie. I just felt very disgusted.
Oh wow!
And
I don't think I've ever heard of you walking out of a movie before. You usually watch to the end.
Yeah, but no, actually, and like I said, I can't remember if I walked out or not. But I was very I know what it was. I actually did not go to the movies. I did, but I didn't walk out. I finished the movie, but I was disgusted by it. I was literally, this is how bad it was. Probably the first 5 or 10 minutes that I began the movie, I was going to walk out. But I was like, you know what? It can't be this bad. So I kept watching it, and I was wrong.
It got worse.
It got worse, like to the point it did not make any sense. Like I think Taika Waititi has all this money, and I think he honestly did not know how to put that money in as far as did not know how to use that money properly, because some of the stuff was unnecessary. And the one thing I don't like when certain directors do is you put characters we know in somebody else's movie for no reason. Like what I mean is they were a waste of space in that movie.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Who'd they use?
They use the cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh right, because at the end of the Endgame he was there. He was with the cast.
But when I tell you it had no purpose, that space was not needed.
I wonder if he did that comedic tone just because the Guardians were there.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm telling you, it there was no purpose. There was nothing for them to be in there. And I tell you, it was so bad. I'm like, Jesus, this movie should not have been made. It's literally like if y'all watch Harry Potter and remember how like in the Prison of Azkaban, Harry has actually said Voldemort's name, and then Ron Weasley's dad's mom, we did not speak of his name. That's how I felt about Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't want to speak of his name.
Really?
Yeah, it was that.
Did Mr. Weasley actually say that?
Yeah, because
it had to be when he first met them, right? Like
no,
in the house.
No, because because I remember Prison of Azkaban. Harry got on that bus, and then I remember the next day, Harry woke up, went downstairs.
Oh right, I'm thinking about Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, correct. That was still good. It terrified me though. But my whole point is that's how I feel about Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I did not want to speak that movie's name because it was so bad. It really was.
Understandable.
And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It probably fell between this other movie we do not speak of, but I gotta say just one time because this is a reason. Dragon Ball Evolution, and Velma. But if I had to categorize as far as like what was the worst, Dragon Ball Evolution is still worse, but Velma would be number 2, and then Thor: Love and Thunder. But those are my top 3 worst movies. And
Interesting.
And like it's just I really think that movie should have been a little bit dark because it was just full comedic. It felt like a bunch of 6-year-olds wrote this movie.
I mean, it is Disney, and they're more and more trying to make all of their stuff appeal to a very younger crowd. I mean, it's not like I don't understand. It's not like I don't understand why, but it's like you're overcompensating at this point.
Yeah, and my thing is I've seen old classic Disney movies, and they have a way better story structure than some of these Marvel films. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just in the minority, but that's how I feel because movies like Atlantis: The Lost Empire, Treasure Planet, those movies like those I really enjoy watching because it took me on an adventure. Like again, these are 2 different movies, but I felt like it was really story driven. I actually was on an adventure. I love the characters. I love the protagonists and the antagonists, and I love like the accomplishments and like the obstacles that protagonist had to overcome, and like really like to accomplish to get to the next level as far as like the conclusion of his or her path. So I mean, I really loved it, but like I think those movies did a better job than Thor: Love and Thunder, and Thor: Love and Thunder was on a way bigger budget.
Yeah.
And
We're also comparing like the 90s and early 2000s, where they were more going to be experimental, to now where the MCU is such a big problem. I remember when the MCU first started, it was very much a big ass experiment.
Yeah.
Now it is like this whole thing, and it is one of the most profitable IPs in history now.
Yeah.
And now because of that, Disney is is very, very afraid to take a risk. They want to keep the cash flowing.
Yeah, and that's what worries me. They're more worried about the quantity more than the quality, and that's what worries me because this is why I feel like again, anime has a better story structure, and they have done an incredible job from the shows I've seen right now lately, and that Marvel doesn't really compare to none of them. As far as like Thor: Love and Thunder, and then certain Marvel shows I've seen, not all of them, just certain ones, and I just feel like I have enjoyed way more these certain animations I've seen more than some of these Marvel shows and Marvel movies. And
Out of curiosity, how long have you been like watching anime? I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper.
No.
I'm just genuinely curious.
No. Like I said, I started like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And I just finished Jujutsu Kaisen like yesterday. No. Sorry, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, because I've been watching within 2 days. And then I just started Demon Slayer like yesterday, and I'm on episode 3.
Okay.
And I gotta finish the last season of Attack on Titan, the 3rd season, I believe. I believe it's part 1 or part 2. I can't remember which one it was, but I gotta finish that, and then I gotta go. There's another show I've added to my list. I gotta go watch too. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what that is, and I'll let Bradley comment in just a second. Tokyo Ghoul, Black Clover, One Punch Man. I've already finished Chainsaw Man, but that's what I got so far. I gotta watch. But now you can ask me what else you gonna ask me.
I only ask that because it's interesting because I've been watching anime since the 90s.
Yeah.
Those Dragon Ball, Zoids, Gundam, Pokemon, the Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of stuff.
But
So
that's
it's interesting to kind of hear it from your perspective. You're basically a fresh face, all things considered, in the anime, and when it comes to anime. So you're not like you haven't seen all the tropes and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting. I just find it really interesting to kind of see like what your opinion of it is.
Yeah. Now, I want to comment on something you just said just now. I have seen Zoids, but I didn't know that was anime though.
Yeah, that was anime.
So,
out of curiosity, was the protagonist of Zoids? Did he have a blonde? Was he blonde?
yeah, he had
Okay, so then you watched the lighthearted one, not the gritty war drama one.
yeah, because the one I saw
I say
was
gritty, it's not that gritty. But
Yeah.
you get the point.
yeah, because this one had like a gigantic white like
The Liger Zero.
yeah. So like I said, like I grew up around the '90s, so I just saw that. That's the one I saw. And Digimon, this is Digimon. So y'all gotta understand with me, I didn't like go deep in research. I didn't study none of this. I'm looking at these shows like, okay, these are just shows to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't know these were anime when he said that just now. So I didn't know. I was still watching anime, but like you just said, how lighthearted for Zoids was. But I didn't know none of these were anime.
Then there was Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that yet. So
I recommend watching Yu Yu Hakusho,
okay.
and, as well as Inuyasha. Inuyasha is a very long and very dramatically exhausting series to watch.
yes,
But I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho was a pretty good one. I don't remember finishing it though. But then again, I don't think the show was done by the time my interest shifted to a different anime.
yeah,
I do recommend watching as much Gundam as you can find,
Okay.
even though Gundam goes back to the 70s.
yeah.
Wait, is it 70s? Yeah, no, wait. Yeah, it's 70s. There are a couple others in there as well, but I'm hard-pressed to remember them at the moment. Where the hell am I going?
Like yeah, I agree. And then what was the other one? It was something I wanted to say too.
I watched Bleach, and as much as it gets memed to hell and back, I do recommend giving Naruto a watch. I won't say watch through the whole damn thing at once.
No, I'm not.
But I would say like maybe a season.
Yeah.
A season a month. Just
I'll-
so you get tired of it.
I will give it a chance. I could not get into it. Like I couldn't get into that. And I'm telling you right now about this other show. There is no way in hell I can get into the show Dragon Ball Z. I don't understand the hype behind it. I can't get into it. But
You started watching it?
No. Like I used to watch like back in the day. Like I think it was like on Cartoon Network, Boomerang, whichever one it was.
It was on. It would have been on Toonami.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, that's right. Now I do remember. Yeah, Toonami. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toonami. Yeah. And I think I watched a couple episodes back in that time, and I just stopped watching it. It got boring for me. So, like I said.
Well, you also have to keep in mind. I don't know if you remember this. But they basically restarted the series 3 separate times because the guy wasn't done writing it. But the number of times I watched the Namek saga is honestly ridiculous.
Oh Jesus!
Because again, the guy had Akira Toriyama. He hadn't continued the story. He was still writing the next arc.
Yeah.
And I believe at the time they hadn't even dubbed what the arc had been adapted into an anime.
Yeah.
So there's that. Now I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, okay, like, well, do X, Y, and Z and you'll get it, because again, that's ultimately up to you. I'm not gonna make you do it, but I think you would enjoy it better.
Yeah.
You might be one of the few people who would enjoy it better if you watched the original Dragon Ball first.
Okay. I will look into it, and I will probably give it a chance. It's just so hard for me because, like, I'll put it to you this way. When I started watching anime, man, like I think I know I said 2 weeks ago, but I think it might have been 3 weeks ago. But either way, it was between that time frame. My whole point is, when my friend told me to watch Chainsaw Man, and so I started watching it.
Is it who I think it is? That's what you watch Chainsaw Man?
Who?
Bobby.
No,
Okay,
actually,
that's right.
Actually, no. My friend Dwayne did.
Okay.
So this is no lie. I started watching the first episode, and I was so hooked in, and I was like, "Yo, this character Denji is so funny because it gives you a goal for the main character already, and when you figure out what his goal is, it is so hilarious. But actually, I just love that character. It's just funny though, and he's like relatable because there are like some young men who are simps and literally would do anything for women, and I'm just like, yo, this is so relatable, and I binge watched it so much. I finished that show within 2 days.
Okay.
Within 2 days.
I think again with regards to Dragon Ball, you would probably get more out of it if you watched the original, because Dragon Ball again was not meant to be a serious show; it was meant to be a comedy.
Yeah. Oh, for real?
Yes. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z is a comedy. Dragon Ball is an actual serious drama. Well, I say serious drama. It's still more of a comedy.
Dragon Balls. Okay. Wow. This is interesting. I did not know they had different.
The problem is that when Dragon Ball Z was adapted to the West, they tried to make the main character like Superman.
Oh,
because Superman,
you're right. Yeah.
Superman was the at the time the biggest thing, most popular thing, most recognizable thing towards an audience. So, given that Goku could at some point fire energy blast, and was super strong, but really he was just a very good fighter.
Yeah.
They elected that the best course of action to get more people to watch the show, because again, Dragon Ball was not a success. It was not a success. A lot of people did not watch it. There's a very famous joke in Dragon Ball Z Abridged that it was like no one watched Dragon Ball Go. So it's like, apparently that is true. It was not a popular show. But if you did, so when they adapted Dragon Ball Z to avoid the same faux pas,
yeah,
they made Goku like Superman. So he was more easily the audience could relate to him more.
Yeah, but that does make sense though, because I don't know why that didn't dawn on me, but I realized the reason why though, because I was a young kid. I didn't really pay attention to any of this stuff. I was just watching the show just to watch the show. But again, there are certain kids like Brad who probably pay attention to this.
I didn't pay attention at all. I didn't realize that. I didn't learn this till years later.
Oh, okay.
It's just that because Dragon Ball Z again was more of an action show. It was more of an action comedy.
Yeah.
And I love the fighting choreography so much because it was so high energy, so intense. I just gravitated towards it. But again, not everybody's gonna go for that. You know?
Yeah, and it's just like I said, that's how I feel with certain movies. Like again, like Brad said, he has literally been drained of Marvel, which I understand.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not just saying because he's saying it. That's how I feel sometimes about some Marvel. Even though I still watch that, I can lie. I still feel drained, like exhausted. But it's with like, and see, this is why I've been watching anime like crazy, because it brings a new fresh air when I watch this stuff. So it's really refreshing to watch something new that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And seeing these new characters go through like certain moments and just still incorporating humor and making it funny while in certain uncomfortable moments is hilarious.
Especially considering that a lot of the jokes don't actually translate well into English. Because again, Japanese language. So fun fact for you guys about Japanese language: the Japanese language is basically set up to be one giant pun.
Oh, for real?
So it's oversimplified. Again, you could like one word can depending on context. Context is very important to the Japanese language. If you're gonna learn Japanese, you gotta understand that context is very important. Your inflection, how you hang on certain vowels, what context you're using it in, it like how you're using it. It is very important if you want to get your meaning just right. You can't just go in and expect to speak like an American. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, true.
But at the same time, because of that, they do a lot of wordplay. A lot of Japanese comedy, from what I've seen, is wordplay. Even their physical comedy is based upon wordplay. It's about puns, double entendres, that kind of thing. So it's very hard, in my opinion anyway, for Western audiences to Western developers and Western translators to get that comedy just right, because they have to find an analog for it in Western media, and a lot of times that analog just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know where the hell I'm going. I really don't.
I don't either, because like bro, like, let me tell you, what is that? No, that book back in the day. If someone remember this, it felt like I was watching him going through I Spy books.
Yeah.
That's only because I was so confused on where he's supposed to go. This map is horrible.
Return to the throne room. Oh, I gotta go back to the past. Okay, now I know. Okay, at least it tells me where I need to go. Okay, so I think I just gotta go up. So let's just keep going up.
But
Gotta go find a portal, which means I gotta go do another chase sequence.
Yeah. Guys, let me tell you, I just found my old shows from back in the day. I'm going to binge watch these shows too. Not tonight or tomorrow. Probably next week. But I'm so glad I found them. And I'm so excited. Brainiacs and Freakazoid.
Oh, on Hulu?
Yes. It took me forever, like weeks, unless months to find these things.
You know, Animaniacs got renewed for its third season.
Wait, what?
Animaniacs, the reboot, got renewed for a third season.
I don't see. Is the reboot good? Cause I never watched the reboot.
I haven't watched the reboot either, but from what I've seen, they got the original cast back.
Okay, that's good.
And I believe it's the original writing team too.
Okay, so like I said, guys, I don't like. This is one of the reasons why we have the podcast too. But I didn't do my research on certain things like that and actually look into it, because whenever I hear reboot, and this is just me, I'm trying to get out this phase.
It's become a dirty word.
It's very judgy. I'm very judgy on that.
No, not judgy, dirty. It's become a very dirty word.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you.
Yes, and like I said, whenever I hear that word reboot, it's just like it brings a bad taste in my mouth, because it's just like most of the I've seen that have been reboots haven't been good. And whenever I hear a show that's a classic of mine being rebooted, I just have no faith in it.
Velma.
See.
I know it's the punching bag for the current moment, but it's the best punching bag for the current moment.
It really is. But see, the funny thing about that is, guys, with Velma wise, I knew, this is no lie. I think I mentioned it to Brad. I think I like before the show.
Yeah. You mentioned it's gonna be a bad show.
Yeah,
from the
I called it. I was like, it's gonna be a bad show, and sure enough, this show had the lowest ratings, and it had. When I say the lowest ratings, it had the worst ratings, worse than Dragon Ball Evolution. That's it has to be that bad if it's worse than Dragon Ball Evolution, and that movie was ass. Like they messed up on so many levels with that movie, but Velma, oh my goodness, I can't believe Mindy actually thought that was a good idea.
Oh, and then they brought in Scooby, but it's not Scooby.
It's a girl.
No. That was a rumor going around that actually wasn't true.
Okay, so
what happened was that the show was so bad, and people didn't want to watch it, that they just assumed that this character was called Scooby, but it's not the case. I think the character's name is actually Gigi. But it just goes to show that your show is so bad that no one bothered trying to learn the name of a character.
Wow.
That you introduced in the first episode.
Unbelievable.
But what happened is Scooby is now an anagram for a government project designed to transfer brains from people's skulls.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Y'all done.
And I only know this because they actually played the clip, and apparently Velma's mom was somehow involved in it or something like that. I don't know the full context, but they wanted to have a word pun where they go, it's like, here's Scooby. He's like, okay, and Velma's like, well, what does Scooby do? I'm like, get out.
Yes, stop. No,
get out.
Yes.
Just get out.
Yeah, just please get out. That is wrong. Don't do that. That's wrong.
It's like you're trying to be cute,
but
you made a terrible show, so you can't be cute anymore.
I need, Warner Brothers, I really want to ask the people in charge, whoever's making these decisions, I need to ask y'all a really important question. Are y'all thinking about these decisions y'all making, or y'all just thinking, you know what, I can get cash off this or a tax write-off? If y'all just going for a tax write-off, I can understand that. Y'all still messed up for doing that, but still, I'm just saying, nobody does not want to see this. certain show like this. So why do y'all feel the need to greenlit some of these shows? Please help me explain this, like your logic, because it's not adding up to me. Like that, what he did, that pun was the worst pun I've ever heard. Like where, like, say it again one more time.
So again, it was a government project called Scooby, and they're having an interview with Shaggy's mom, which for some reason, again, Shaggy's black, but his dad's white. I don't get why. I don't get why. Anyway, and now that Shaggy has a girlfriend, now Velma suddenly wants to date her. It's like, what? Anyway, God, the more I hear about the show, the more I hate it. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so Scooby, so Scooby is now an anagram for a government project that was designed to transfer brains into something. I don't know the exact specifics of it, and I don't really care to learn it.
Yeah.
And Velma's like, well, what does Scooby do?
Yeah, see right there, that's the worst part you can ever put into a show.
And it's like this is supposed to be like your central crux. This is your main thing. This is like the central plot point you're trying to go through. You're trying to tie in Velma's mom to it too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Mindy, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like that's the only question I have. Like legitimately speaking, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I think, and maybe I'm wrong with this.
Like you got rid of the talking dog to make a stupid reference to the talking dog
that's stupid.
Nobody liked.
That's stupid. I don't know why she thought it was a good idea. Why? I don't understand for life why she thought it was a good idea. But I don't know. Whenever, like I said, guys, like I said, I have it, and when I say this, it has nothing to do against. It has nothing to do with her race. It's just her as an individual, as a person. She's never on my radar as a actor to look up and find for shows. Because to me, she's just not talented.
Well, from what I'm understanding, she just plays the same dang character every single time, and it's just her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And she does that every time, and it's annoying. Like, I choose not to watch her because she's not entertaining to me. She's not funny. She's just boring. She's just like, she's one of those characters like you place in a random show that you try to understand. Women, why is this character in this show for no reason? That's who Mindy is to me. And it's just like, oh my word, what in the world is she? Why is she still? How is she still getting jobs? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I'm being legit serious. That's how I feel. Like, how is she still getting jobs? Because she's not there. She's not entertaining me. And I cannot believe what I'm about to say. But I came out my mouth. Kevin Hart is way more entertaining than her.
Oh, you don't like Kevin Hart?
No, but
is it a recent thing, or is it this has been a thing since the beginning?
No. There's some of Kevin's work in the past I've loved. Currently, his current work, no. His past work, yes, I've been a fan of it, yes. But his current work, no. Can never take this in. But I was just saying, if I had to choose between him or Mindy, I'm choosing Kevin Hart.
Well, at least Kevin puts effort into his writing. That's the difference.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And I'm fine with going with him. But it's just Mindy's playing the same character, no matter what the show is. Like as an actor, if you're not able to
play a wide variety of roles,
yes, because let me give you an example. And again, people may not agree with when I say he's active, but I think he's gotten better. Dave Bautista. Look at what he did as Blade Runner 2049. So when he played that character, whoever that character was, I didn't see Dave Bautista. I saw the character that he was playing. When he was in that movie, when he was in that show, Season 2 with Jason Momoa, I didn't see Dave Bautista. I saw the character that he was playing. And that's what I'm saying. If you can take me out of who you are and I can see the characters you're playing, then you have really done your job, in my opinion. And honestly, in my opinion, but Mindy is not that way. I see the same person every single time, no matter what show it is, whether it's drama, romance, or romance drama, or romance comedy. She's doing the same thing. The same thing goes with Jennifer Lopez. She is such a diva. I like Jennifer Lopez. And don't get me wrong, I did see the movie where her and Owen Wilson marry me. That was a pretty good romance comedy, but it was still good. But my whole thing is she's known for romance movies, right? But she's over here complaining about like she ain't making enough money. Her movie ain't making enough money when Marry Me came out. Well, obviously because more people will go watch Marvel films than a romantic comedy.
Yeah, those are just not in anymore.
Yeah, and so she's got to understand.
They're also a dime a dozen, so yeah.
yeah, but she's got to understand though. You have to like if you want to challenge yourself, take yourself out that bubble and at least try it.
Another thing you can do is maybe if you want to make a romance comedy, how about you tell the people posting it, how about we don't release it when a Marvel movie's coming out?
Yeah, but
that's another thing you can do.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is why. I feel with Jennifer Lopez wise, and again, this is where the diva part comes in. She thinks that she is above all everybody. She thinks her movie will be a top notch, no matter what comes out. And that's a problem.
You never assume that what you make is gonna do good because it can always do bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like with Avatar 2. A lot of people did not think Avatar 2 was gonna make $2 billion. I knew it was. I was confident in it. I knew it was because of how stunning and visually captivating the first one was, and I knew that James Cameron was gonna kill it in this one, but a lot of people did not think he was gonna do it. He's gonna kill it, and he did. He literally did, and that man made $2.05 billion off that movie, and it's still going.
So I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that the second Avatar was gonna be good, but it's gonna be good because I just didn't see why it was relevant. It's like the last one came out like almost a decade ago. It's a little bit late to try to make another one, don't you think? But from what I'm being told, apparently he defied the odds and actually made a decent movie.
Yeah, like I'm just saying for me. Again, I'm not disagreeing with Brad. I'm just saying for me. I thought it was a masterpiece. I really thought it was. I thought it was a masterpiece. The man did an amazing job. Like. Visually stunning. Like that man know how. I don't know what him and his team did to make like just like the simple stuff like water look so damn realistic. I don't know what he did.
Well, he probably filmed in actual water.
No, I know, but like he took it to a level where like it's better than most waters I've seen in movies. I don't know, like I know it's hard to explain, but I was looking very closely at his work, and I don't know what he did. I looked behind the scenes. I don't know what he did. I like you said, I know it's underwater, but it's something that he did to make it like pop out even more clearly. I don't know, like he got more detail with this second one.
I imagine he probably because the one thing about James Cameron that I've noticed is that, narratively speaking, he's kind of hit or miss. But when it comes to the visual fidelity of his movies, they're usually really good. Like he's a good cinematographer.
Yeah, he is. I think he's been what's his name? Christopher Nolan.
Oh, that goes without saying. Christopher Nolan is a very high concept kind of. He's kind of almost become a prima donna nowadays.
No, yeah, he is.
But he does very high concept work.
Yeah.
Whereas James Cameron again does high concept work, but he's not in a way that's like, I want to bend the audience mind because I think I'm smart. It's like I'm just trying to make a cool looking movie.
Yeah, and see, but I feel like with Christopher Nolan, I feel like he's going down that road like Lord have mercy. What is his name? And I dislike him so to this day. Michael Bay. I feel like he's going on that same road Michael Bay is.
Oh, making just bunch of cool looking action films.
Yeah, and like it's like, but with Christopher Nolan, he's just making like good cinematic films, but they're not good. If you get what I'm saying, he's basically making junk food. It looks nice to get you through the day, but it's ultimately not correct. Yes, thank you. Yes, exactly. Yes, and I just I just don't understand, like, because, so, I bought Tenet because, for this reason, it was visually stunning. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what, I still, like, this is 2023, I still don't know what the hell that movie's about.
Could not tell you.
I don't know. Like, I looked at videos, and it still doesn't it made some sense, but not to the degree where I could explain to Brad about what the movie's about. I can't. I don't know what the movie's about. So it's so confusing. But I gotta give some chops to Denzel Washington. Not because he's Denzel's son, because he actually did pretty good in the movie.
Wait, what now? Denzel's son's in the movie?
Yeah. John Denzel Washington. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's him and Edward. I'm about to say Edward Pattinson. Rod Pattinson.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Now, I will say Rod Pattinson. From him going from Twilight to action film like this, and to doing
Batman.
The Batman, and also doing the Devil, whatever it's called, with Tom Holland on Netflix, which was actually really good. He is doing pretty good for his career. I gotta give him props for that. But like I said, like the story wise for that movie, Tenet did not make any damn sense to me. But how it's shot, how it looks, is visually stunning. But this is what I'm saying. Like, so his new movie that comes out, I think in December or November, Oppenheimer. I have no interest in watching it.
Yeah.
I have no interest in watching that. But every time he does this, and y'all can disagree, but it's true. He does it every time for every movie trailer. He puts at the very end what type of camera he uses and what lens.
Why like okay. Before I say this,
Yes.
if you're a film buff, I understand. But if you're trying to build hype for a movie, that's something you leave for the special features.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you, if you look at Dunkirk, which was ass too, by the way. If you look at one of the trailers, he did the exact same thing for that too. Like he literally put in what type of camera he used, what lenses he used at the very end of the trailer. I'm like, why?
Like no one who's going like the average moviegoer who's going to see
They don't care about that. They don't.
It's not that they don't care about it. They don't know what any of that means.
Yeah. I know what it means, but I'm trying to figure out.
I don't.
Nah, yeah, I do, and I'm trying to figure out why he putting it in there. I'm trying to figure out like basically like 1844 and like 50 millimeters. It's depending on the size of your lens. So like if you want to go, I believe I can't. I gotta make sure I'm saying what I probably might forget. I think 18 is, I believe it's wide, or I think it's like up. No, it's far away. If you get a 54 or 84 millimeter, that thing is I think real close up. Like if I were to go uptown, but not too close to those like exquisite buildings.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm at like the CPC. And I have a big, like an 84 millimeter lens. From where I'm standing on the central campus, I can get up and close to the person at the, like I'm standing exactly close to it with that one lens.
Okay.
And but the thing is, I like just overall as like he said, as a film buff, I don't know why you put that in there. And like he said, the average goer is not going to understand what that means. Nobody's gonna understand what that means. So why would you put it in there, for no one? That's what I'm saying. Because I don't believe you did for Batman at all. Period. But like I think after Batman, you just start putting in like every time you're doing a movie, a new movie. You talking about I did it, and every film.
Did he do it for Interstellar? Because that was the movie that everybody was basically like filleting him over.
He probably did. I can't remember, but I don't understand that movie either. That's
a very common complaint about that movie. Like, no one understood what
I've seen it maybe I'm not even joking, guys. Maybe overall 2 times, and I'm not even kidding you. I probably have not finished both times because I did not understand it, and it just I like Matthew McConaughey, but I'm not mad with him. But I'm not mad about McConaughey. I'm just mad with the story that Christopher Nolan wrote, and it's not good. I'm trying to figure out, because I really need to understand this middle. It's like I'm trying to fill the gaps of this missing piece. I'm trying to understand with filming, and why would you give somebody, if they're giving him money to make these movies, or he's using his own money, I understand that part. But if somebody's giving him money to make these other movies, I'm trying to understand, as a studio, y'all worry about the numbers, right? If the numbers ain't doing well, why are you still giving this man money? You get what I'm saying?
Well, to my understanding, aren't his movies like always making good money?
No, I think they're flopping. Let me see. Let me go to Dunkirk real quick. Let me see how much that made and how much he messed it.
Because I remember Dunkirk. A lot of people said that was a fantastic movie.
Who in the world said that was a fantastic movie? They are crazy.
Everybody who's seen it, from my understanding,
they are. Y'all,
you're legit the first person to say that movie was trash.
You guys are on that dick train for Christopher Nolan. Y'all are delusional. Y'all are truly delusional if y'all think that movie was a masterpiece. That movie was trash. Stop it. What is wrong with y'all?
Let me see here.
And y'all probably only said because Old Boy was in there, Harry Styles.
From One Direction?
Yes.
Why was he in it?
I don't know. That's the point I'm trying to make. Why?
Okay.
And y'all talking about Dunkirk is amazing. What's wrong with y'all?
Let's redo that.
Let me go here real quick. I gotta see how much it made.
Because I don't think it has terrible reviews. I think it. I want to say it actually has fairly decent reviews.
Y'all, I just don't understand. Somebody give me I truly need somebody to give me a good, reasonable answer on why you thought Dunkirk was a good movie. Give me a legitimate answer on why you thought that movie was good. Cause I don't think that movie was good. I don't think it was good. If anybody sees it and y'all think Dunkirk was a good movie, please explain it to me. Cause I don't see the hype around it. The only good shot out of that whole movie was the first 5 seconds, where there's a white. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to say the opening credits.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, man, isn't that a little bit mean?
Yeah. It was.
It's like I remember one guy was reviewing a film, and it's like, and here's the best parts of Velma: the opening credits and the last 5 minutes. Of credits.
I was getting ready to say, but like no, but there was one scene. It was a wide establishing shot. Like it was just basically a wide shot of all the soldiers like in town as like these, I guess, paper falling from the sky, whatever. And that was the only good shot and good scene in that movie. After that movie was trash.
I want to say it might have gone easy on it because it's a historical piece.
What that is?
Yeah, Dunkirk's based on a true story. That's a true story.
Yeah, no. I'm not mad with the story. I'm just saying like what I'm saying as just a moviegoer. You're not gonna say and tell. I'm saying like, okay, there's no way you're gonna say and tell me that movie itself was a good movie. Like I know it's based off like actual wartime. I get that. I'm not mad with the story they created. I'm just saying I can't sit for, I think it was like 2 hours or an hour or something and watch that movie. I'd rather watch 1917. That had me more immersed.
It was 2 hours. That's not it.
Yeah. So
long shit nowadays.
So the budget for Dunkirk was 100 to 150 million. Their box office was 527 million.
Okay, so even more to make back his money. So that's probably why, because the guy can make money off his movies. The same reason why Michael Bay's getting work.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like I need to understand what I'm missing here, because I don't understand how that movie's good.
Couldn't tell you, I haven't seen it.
Wow.
Because when I watch like war pieces, I'm mostly watching like historical documentaries.
Yeah.
That's just been me.
Yeah.
I very rarely watch like historical war dramas because they're very rarely true. Like, let's take Michael Bay for instance. His Pearl Harbor movie was not.
That was
accurate.
trash.
It was not. Now apparently that movie everybody agreed was just terrible.
That was trash.
That's the reason why I believe he hasn't done like a serious drama ever since.
Yeah, because he can't direct. He can't direct. No, that man cannot direct.
But yeah, no. The Pearl Harbor was not
No.
historically accurate.
Saving Private Ryan was excellent.
And that was.
I forgot who that was.
I think that was Spielberg, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. And Spielberg did an incredible job with that.
I was going to say James Cameron, but I believe it was Spielberg.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check one did too. Saving Private Ryan. That was no, that was Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Also, fun fact, I think that was Vin Diesel's second movie.
Yeah, it was.
It was his first movie where he showed he could legitimately act.
Yeah, and cause I can't remember the other one. I've never seen it.
His first movie was a movie he directed himself. It was a movie that he wrote and directed himself.
Was it called A Man Apart?
I don't remember what it was called. I know that it was like him. Yeah, I think it was basically playing like a kind of like a frat boy character.
I don't know what that one is.
Well, maybe not frat boy, but I know at one of the scenes where he was hosting a party.
Okay.
And that was kind of it.
Let me see.
But that was his first movie, and that was a movie that Vin Diesel himself directed and wrote.
Alright.
On like a shoestring budget, I believe. I don't know if it did well.
Let me see.
Wrong thing.
So he did. So now these are the ones I have not seen of Vin Diesel. Find Me Guilty, that was in 2006. Boiler Room, that was 2000. Knock Around Guys in 2001. A Vin Diesel film, Strays, that was 1997. Haven't seen that. He did a movie called Multifacial. I guess that was 1995.
I think Strays was the movie.
Yeah, because it literally said a Vin Diesel film.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that, so I don't. Let me see. Strays, a 1997 American drama film, written, directed, produced. Jesus, he did all this?
Yeah, people forget Vin is actually a pretty talented dude.
And starred Vin Diesel, which follows a drug dealer and a hustler.
Yep, that was it. That was Stray.
Okay, who is fed up with the repetitious lifestyle he leads and begins looking for meaning in his life. Okay.
Yeah, people forget that Vin is kind of that guy because again, like he, as a matter of fact, if my memory serves correct, he did Riddick.
Yes, I love Riddick.
But the story behind it, if my memory serves correct,
Oh Jesus!
depending on which movie came first, it was either Saving Private Ryan or it was Fast and the Furious. He said, "I will do this movie if you fund Riddick."
For real?
That's the story going around. That he got Riddick funded, but I think it was Saving Private Ryan. I think they said that. I forget what the exact reasoning is, but it's like, I want this guy in here specifically, and I want to say that he said, okay, yeah, I'll do it if you fund this movie.
I'm going to check real quick on what year that one movie came out, and then I will let you know. Just a second. Sorry, people, I'm trying to.
Take your time.
So, Saving Private Ryan came out in 1998, and then
Riddick came out in 2000 something.
Yeah, so it's where it sounds about right.
Yeah, the timeline's lining up.
Yeah, because Riddick, I'm looking right now. It came out in 2004. Pitch Black came out in 2000.
Yeah.
And so because Pitch Black came first, then the Chronicles of Riddick, and then Riddick.
And then there's Dark Fate in between there.
Yeah.
As well as the Riddick video game, which I want to get that game because apparently it's really dope and it's canonically a prequel to the first Riddick.
Yeah, no, it is. My brother played it. And I saw him play it. I ain't gonna lie, it did look dope. I gotta ask him what's it called because
it's called Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. But
okay.
if you get Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Athena, it actually comes with a remake of Butcher Bay on there.
Oh, nice.
So you get two games for the price of one, and I don't know. I skipped it because at the time I was like, it's a movie tie-in game. It's not gonna be good. But apparently they're actually really good.
No,
and Ben actually had he had like he was like directly involved in the project.
No, he was because when my brother was playing it, I actually heard Vin Diesel doing ADR.
Oh no, I don't mean like that. I mean like he was like involved in like the script making in the game.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
If my memory serves me correct.
I think you're right because here's why I say it because I saw the behind the scenes of Reddit, the one that came out as Rated R.
Yeah.
And the way that he was talking about it, like he was somehow I think he said he spent years in the making trying to get this one made.
Yeah.
And especially trying to get it rated R. So I was like, I could tell by Ben, like he was really passionate about making this one like a very good one. Like even though it was pretty good, I still watch from time to time. But I could tell by Ben, no, he really wanted to make that like his passion project.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was that talented, but the fact that I haven't seen Stray. Oh, that's not good. That angle did not look good.
And I know what you're talking about, but I think it is that we're going through like again. I'm trying to get back to the throne room, and we're going through the
little hallway.
Going through the hallway where we had the chase sequence, but I don't think we're in the chase sequence now. So it's doing that camera angle.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how it's pre-programmed.
Okay, I was about to say this. Jesus.
Because outside of the part we did yesterday, they very rarely introduce the Hawker without it being like a cutscene that you know that you're being chased by them.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But like I think Riddick and Fast and the Furious are Vin's passion projects.
Oh yeah, because man, the amount of work that he puts in, especially with Fast and Furious, I know people are saying they don't like it, and that's fine. I understand it, but I'm just telling you, you cannot sit and tell me that man does not put a lot of investment into those movies. Because man, he be sitting there putting like I think not all of his money, but a portion of his money to get some things made and like I guess like greenlit and everything. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah. He does like a few things. I think one of the movies he did in like the mid 2010s, where he was like a witch hunter or some crap like that, was based off a D&D campaign he did.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's based on one of his D&D campaigns.
Wow.
Yeah, Vin's a massive freaking nerd.
Wow, I would never guess. I'm not trying to be funny. I would
You
never.
would not guess that, no.
Yeah, I would never guess that. I honestly wouldn't, because but see with Henry, I can tell because like how he talked about Warhammer and The Witcher. I can tell he's a nerd.
Well, at the same time, isn't Henry Cavill like mid-20s, early 30s, somewhere in that ballpark?
Yeah.
And Vin is at this point in his 50s, right?
Wait, he's 50?
Vin, I want to say he's 50.
Good
I
Lord.
might be overstating it. If I am, I'm sorry.
Let me see.
But
if he's 50 here, he does not look 50. Jesus Christ.
Black don't crack. Anyway,
he's black.
Have you not seen that dude?
I didn't try before he got lyric. I didn't think.
I don't think. I won't say he's black, but he's definitely of ethnic descent. Because no white guy is naturally that tan.
Yeah. Yeah, he is 55. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so you have to remember that he probably grew up in a time where it's like being a nerd was considered something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
And now it's like not that anymore.
Yeah, I'm just. That man does not look 55 to me. What in the world?
Yeah, he looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah, and actually, no, you're all right, Brad. Because like he did have a black father. He had a white mother and a black father.
Oh, so he's mixed. Okay.
Yeah. So, but
you got that propensity going on.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, they've already when the first episode of the show on HBO Max Last of Us dropped. That same day, they greenlit for the second season. So
okay,
yeah. So because the rating was so good.
I hope it's good. So this one is probably more justified than with what happened with Velma. Because with Velma again, even though a second season is greenlit, what's happened because it's an animation, so they have to greenlight it.
So are you serious?
Yeah. When it comes to an animated feature. If they have a second season, so again, they probably already settled in their contract that they were going to do multiple seasons of the show.
Yeah.
But they only greenlit 2 because they weren't, because I guarantee they probably weren't sure if it's going to be like a major success.
Yeah. Okay.
So what probably has happened is that the second season was already in production by the time the first season came out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So the same way with the show Harley Quinn on HBO Max. Does that same thing apply to that too?
Yes, if it's an animated feature.
Okay.
If it is an animated feature, this is my understanding based on somebody that I watched who's in the media. Ever get a chance, look up Clownfish Media. I think it's a husband and wife duo, and they're actually pretty funny and pretty informative too. From what at least for me personally. What am I trying to get at here? Right. So the guy on there, he mentioned that. Hate Watching probably did nothing to the ratings of Velma. It probably didn't boost her. It probably had no effect on whether or not that show got a second season.
Yeah.
What probably happened, more than likely, was that the second season was already in production.
Yeah.
When the first season came out.
Wow, that's wild.
Which would make sense if you think about the amount of work that goes into an animated feature.
No,
CG or handmade or flash.
Yeah, now I will say this, guys. I'm not doing CG. I'm doing animation. And when I tell you animation ain't no joke, animation ain't no joke.
CG is computer animation.
No, I know.
You're doing hand animation?
I'm doing animation. Yeah.
You're doing like actual hand drawn animation.
No.
The CG is computer generated.
No, I'm doing it like I have somebody that draws it, and then what I do is I go into like Adobe and I actually animate the characters.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were doing like 3D animation.
No. As far as okay,
that's my bad. I made assumption. I was completely off base. Sorry about that.
No, you good. No, you good. As far as 3D, as far as like building and sculpting and actually putting in bones for hands and all that. My friend does that. I don't do that. That's hard. That is so hard. It ain't even funny.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, he's an artist. He does 2D animation. I mentioned I was trying to do 3D animation at some point.
Yeah.
He said, "More power to you, man, because Jesus Christ." Yeah. And I'm like, that does not bode well.
Yeah, it is no joke. It is so much work. Because you have to also properly put in like the bones and everything. It's literally almost like the bones in the arms and all that. You have to make sure the bones are properly formatted in the body, because if you don't, it won't move properly.
And what he's talking about when it comes to bones is he means like the animation skeleton that lets you actually move the parts you want to move.
Yes.
And depending on how detailed it is, I believe you can either get situations where you have hands that move but the fingers don't do jack.
Yeah, because that happened to me one time where I had just the full part of the arm moving, but it wouldn't bend normally like humans bend their arm. And it looked more like a rubbery hand.
Yeah.
Which was weird. So I had to go back.
Which can happen.
Yeah, and it's very frustrating and time consuming. But I will say this, the final product and everything, when you finish it, it looks incredible. So stay tuned for that, because I will probably be doing some little short episodes, short films of that. When I get some more characters, I guess, drawn up, not by me, but somebody else. So,
yeah.
Because I can't draw worth of shit.
Let's see here. How do I get down from here?
Oh, Lord. Wait a minute. Good. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get my head from how close am I? Ooh, boy, okay.
Yeah, you definitely...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you definitely cannot jump down there. I've seen you do it several times and you always keep dying.
Yeah, and there's just a bottomless pit below me on this one. So let's see here.
Yeah, there has to be a way for you to cross this.
Unless I just went the wrong way in the past, which again could be likely because I just followed the trail. Yeah. Let's go back a little bit. Let's backtrack a bit and see what happens.
Oh, I forgot I got a meeting.
Let's see, what time are we at?
Oh no, wait.
We got we're going to it. We got till. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. No. I'm just nervous for that meeting, and a part of me doesn't want to do it, but we'll see what happens.
Let's do what I do. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
I get through life mostly by not thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that point. No, I'm not even kidding. Like when you get to that point, I've seen Brad get always at other moments. He makes it look so chill. He's wrong. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'll take the petition.
Yeah, because it's just there's no point in getting stressed out about everything. I got 3 gray hairs in total. One of which I got while I was in college. I had a moment where I knew I was going to graduate. I remember I was. You ever been motion sick, like car sick?
Yes.
Imagine being like that for 3 months.
Wow.
That was not a fun time.
Yeah.
It eventually cleared up. I was able to get it taken care of. I went home. I hung up with my mom and my brother.
Yeah.
And at that time, my newborn nephew.
Mm.
Hung up with some friends and just listened to music. And I just you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just not doing it. Sometimes you gotta say, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I know I mentioned it several times already on this, but that's how I am now. When I'm at my job now, I just don't care anymore. So like I put more focus into this, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
More than Amazon. So when people are so surprised that I'm so calm, cool, collected, they are actually scared.
It's the ones that say it is what it is that you got to worry about the most.
Yes, but
because those are the ones that have accepted that shit happens in life, and they're just going to take it in stride.
Yeah, and now see, it's funny you say that. That's what I've been saying to them every single day, and they get scared, guys. I'm not even kidding. Like they, like you know that saying where like somebody says they put the fear of God in me. Like whenever I say it, like they get scared. As when I say that, I'm like, it is what it is. Like it's just, I don't care, and they get scared. I didn't even notice them over there.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And now I'm back in the same spot because now I can't get. No, wait. There is a way back through there because I remember we got chased through here.
Oh, you know, it's
and then we had to go through here, and then we had to go back into the future. So I think I am on the right track. I just forget how to navigate that particular area.
Gotcha. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say too, I got more gray hair than Brad, but the reason why I got more gray hair than Brad is because when I first did Amazon, I was one of the people that was just doing the job, but I was doing it efficiently, and
it stressed your body out.
Yeah, it stressed my body out to the core.
Because that's how you actually get gray hairs is from stress.
Yeah, and that's how. Actually, thank God, yesterday I was stressed out, but I didn't get any more gray hairs, but I was stressed out mentally. So I was like, man, I gotta get out of here. Like I was so frustrated, guys. If y'all, you can hear my tone. Yesterday, I was just so frustrated.
And I think a lot of it with me is because I never viewed a job as like I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I always viewed it as I'm doing this now, so I have something stable while I'm trying to get something else going.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's usually kept me pretty relaxed, for all things considered.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But it's a process. It's a process.
Yeah, and I think the difference between me and Brad is like, and I'm trying to get to that point too. It's just for me, and I mentioned this in the stream yesterday. It's just I'm getting to that age where like I'm like in my 30s. I've got to complete something, and what I mean is like I want to get to the point where like we make this full time, and I can walk out my job and say, you know what, we did it. Like we did it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because I don't want to live in regret. That's just me. I'm saying for me. I don't want to live in regret and if I haven't done enough to where I feel like I can look back and say, you know what, I did enough to where I made it. Then I failed myself. If you get on my drift.
Yeah, it doesn't help that today's society is set up to basically try to keep you trapped in a job.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is.
Yeah, it really is.
Let me see. Okay, let's try this.
And that's not a good feeling.
Okay, so no, that's not gonna work.
That's why I definitely could not do office work. Oh my god. No, I can't do that. That's a cubicle. Oh Lord. No.
Oh.
That would have drove me mad. I would have quit the first day.
There's gotta be something here that I can slide down.
Cause imagine imagine guys, you're in a cubicle all day, just doing paperwork.
Oh wait, I think I know what I gotta do. Okay.
That is so tedious.
I think I know what I gotta do.
I did that one time and I was like, nope, nope, I'm good.
Never done office work, I'll be honest with you.
Don't even do it. It's not like The Office. It is boring. It felt like, to me, I was in a mental asylum. That's how crazy that was.
All you got is your thoughts to keep you company.
Well, my thought was saying some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh jeez, yeah, it's time to go.
Okay.
But now, but now the job I'm currently at now, I'm in the same mentality that Brad is now. Like I said, I don't care about the job. I'm just here for a paycheck.
Yep. I'm ready to pay my bills and try to do something better.
Yeah. So, and like I said, this is why I can definitely see us doing this full time.
Oh right, that's what I was supposed to do. That helps out a lot.
That's why I feel like this can go a long way with us, and I can also see it benefiting us in some way. Cause like I said, we'll be our own bosses. But the thing that I really want is the point where I don't have to wake up early in the morning to go to a job I don't care about.
Yeah, which is the worst feeling.
Yeah, and
because at that point you feel obligated to do it, not because you want to do it.
Exactly. Because like I said, I want us to be our own boss when we're doing this and put out as much as possible. And then this how I see it. I want to take like a week or 2 week vacation, come back, and then be refreshed. That's how I feel. And because that's why I really need a vacation. Because guys, let me tell you, I haven't had a vacation, this is no lie, since 2012.
I haven't had a vacation. I have not had a vacation since honestly about 2020.
Yeah.
It's not a fun feeling.
Yeah.
I had saved up for a vacation too, and then I got screwed over as hard as one guy could possibly get screwed.
I believe it. And guys, I'm telling you this right now. If you have, I'll say this real quick and I can end it.
Yeah.
If you're in your early 20s, enjoy your moments. Go on vacation, have fun, live life, do that. Because when you get to that point when you're almost in your 30s,
it's hard to do things.
say yes.
Anyway, we're going to call it there for tonight. We went on a little bit longer tonight to make up for cutting it early Monday.
Yeah.
The schedule for next week is going to be like this. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be back to doing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But due to the fact that we missed out on Tuesday of last week, Thursday will also be Spider-Man. And then we'll be back with Prince of Persia on Friday of next week. So, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys then.
Yep.
Deuces.
Peace. Bro, how far are you in this game, by the way?